All right, cogs and wheels, we are going to move on from the Mark Kistler drawing style to a different style of drawing, the Lee Ames Draw 50 series. So he's got a whole bunch of books, and it's Draw 50 this, Draw 50 that. These are the most popular books in middle school libraries across the country. His books are checked out and used more often than any other book. More than Twilight, more than Potter, or any of those books. Children will check out these drawing books because they are pretty darn cool. Just as we have been doing all along, we follow the steps in order. And if you follow the steps, you will succeed in drawing something that looks pretty darn cool. The Mark Kistler drawing style is a great way to learn to draw, but the pictures ultimately are not terribly realistic. And we're going to be moving into a more realistic sort of drawing style. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the Mark Kistler style of drawing. I think it's really cool, but it's cartoony. And we're going to try and draw things that look more like drawings from life. These pictures that we do are in black and white in class, but this is what my bunny actually looks like. My bunny Link. Or you can draw horses like this. So the point here is that while the lessons that we're doing are in black and white, you can go home and use crayons, etc. Now, I will point out that in the book, where'd the bunny go? I thought I had the bunny marked. I moved it. So here it is. There's the bunny. Okay. So I've made photocopies for you, and the pictures are in black and white, obviously. But in the book, he uses red to indicate the guidelines and the steps prior to drawing the final bunny. So use very light lines when we block it in. You only want to use heavy dark lines when you finish the bunny at the very last step. All right? We're going to adjust the lines as we go, because every time I do this, I make mistakes. I make some of the bubbles too large or too small, and I can adjust them as long as I've done them fairly lightly. If I do them too heavy, they're hard to fix. Boys and girls. And you know I'm serious because I called you boys and girls. Is it easier to draw large pictures or small pictures? Large. I would like for you to draw the bunny twice as big as you see him in the final picture. All right? I just walked around another classroom. They're going to remain nameless. And in that classroom, they drew the bunnies this size or smaller. Don't do that. That makes your life harder. I want you to draw the bunny bigger. Also, no tracing. And I don't want you just to copy this final picture. What I want you to do is follow the steps, because I'm not teaching you how to copy. I'm teaching you how to block in a drawing. Does that make sense? Yes. So I know that you can just copy the last picture. That's not the point of the lesson. You have to bear with me, because trust me, I've been doing this a while. I know that this works. Are we ready to draw? Pencils up. Paper down. Nose to grindstone. We draw. All right, so we're going to start with a head bubble. Back here, right up there, a little bunny butt bubble. And a bunny nose bubble. And you collect them all, kids. Connect the bunny head with a line to his haunches. Haunches. My head bubble is a little bit too big. Okay, I did it light. Use my red lines and reduce the size of my head bubble. Many people say I have a swelled head. It's true. And maybe I projected that onto my poor bunny. I'm going to do a bunny breast here to his chest. Some rat lines. Rat line, do rat line. Say R. Say RT. We're doing our rabbit with rats, right? Right. Now, every head in the world is symmetrical. Got it right down the middle, and it's going to be a mirror image, one side or the other, of your creature. So we're going to divide our symmetrical head with the dividing line. Now that dividing line does not appear in the final picture, it's just there as a guideline, so that I know to put one ear to the left, that's the bunny's left, of the guideline, and one to the right. And just as with the Mark Kistler system, the one that's closer to us is a little bit bigger than the one that's farther away. So that's where the bunny ear go. Cogito, ear go there. And give him a little bunny eyeball about there. We're going to put a little bump where the other eye go. Whither I go, that I go. We're drawing very small. And so I have to teach you about the head with my lesson. You're drawing it the same size. No, I want it twice as big. Nice. Big. Bunny. Very good. Big's bunnies. Bigger. Big. There. You are drawing big bunny. You are my big bunny champion. All right. So we have the basic bunny torso shape here. Now we're going to put some appendages, bunny bits. So I'm going to give him his back leg there. These two little bubbles down here near his chest are his elbow and his wrist. And again, those bubbles don't appear in the final picture. That is a big bunny. Very seldom do I lie to you about important things. My bank account is an important thing. It's XZ328 7RQ. That I would lie about. I see all of you busily. Was that 7RQ, Mr. Dawson? Well, we just think it's cool. Can you give me your autograph again? There we go. I like the way you make that loop on the O. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. I have to go now. Just go to the bank. No reason. Now that we know where his elbow and his wrist go, it's easy to draw the leg around it and have it be in the correct proportions. So it's like I say, the bubbles do not appear in the final picture, but they do give us a good indication of where the bunny parts go. If you're going to draw a bunny, bunnies are composed of bunny parts. You have to know where the pieces parts go. Otherwise, you put them in odd bunny places. I'm going to add a guide bubble just off of his left paw. That's to show where the other wrist goes. So even though this right leg is behind the other leg, it's stretched out further. By posing it this way, we can actually see both the right and the left paw. So he just did that to be sure it was vestibule. And he puts a nice graceful line here to indicate where that ear fold is going to go. And with that vis-a-vis, we have blocked in the rabbit. We know where the rabbit is going to go. Have you finished? If you finished, start over. If you haven't finished, get bitty. Get bitty on the bunny. It is bunny drawing time. The only way to fail during bunny drawing time is not to draw. Now I'm going to turn this rough, blocky bunny into a more fuzzy bunny. Make it look like a finished picture. Notice he fuzzes him up all along. He takes out all of the guidelines, and that's how you end up with your finished picture. Alrighty. So the eye, for example, is just a circle. But in that last one, he makes it sort of almond shaped, right? Puts a little eyelid on it. I'm going to kind of elongate it, give him a little lid. Fuzz it up a little bit. They got little stubby fur on their faces, right? When you fuzz up his face, that right eye pretty much disappears. All that you see is sort of an eyelash over on that other side. A little bit of fuzz around the snoot. Let's see, before I do the whiskers, I'm going to leave a little bit of the roundness here, but just indicate it with a few short hairs. So we're following the contour like we've been doing, but just lightly. Just a few little dots there to show where the snout starts. And you can add his bunny whiskers in. Fluff him up a little bit on the chest. Leave a little bit of hair to indicate where his head is going. Give him individual little paw fingers. Sounds like something they would offer at Kentucky Fried Rabbit, doesn't it? Paw fingers, yeah. Supposedly, rabbits' feet are lucky. But did you know that it has to be cut off at midnight by a cross-eyed man named Charlie? It's the only way a rabbit's foot is lucky. So accept no substitutes. If you cannot be absolutely certain that a rabbit's foot was removed by a cross-eyed man named Charlie at midnight, then don't accept that rabbit's foot.
Mr. Dawson, what are the rabbits named Charlie?
Not the rabbit, the guy who cuts it off.
What if the rabbit cuts his foot off?
If the rabbit's name were Charlie and he did that, that would be perfectly acceptable. Where do you get these notions? There we go. Now the ears on a bunny are pretty smooth. so is the fur on the footies. So you won't rough them up so much, but you'll rough up the belly, the bunny belly. Oh, feeling me bunny belly. Well, he doesn't put a lot of shading in, he just indicates a little bit. But you can feel free to shade it a little more if you'd like, in the Mark Kistler style. And also in the Mark Kistler style, you can shade him by adding more hair where you want him to be. And to indicate that he is up off the ground, you might draw a little bit of grass here. Don't have to be real precise with it, just grassy looking stuff. Alrighty, let's see how we're doing. I like it. One of the things that you'll notice is that my bunny does not look like the one in the book, does it? Well, it's not so much my own style, but it doesn't matter if I get it absolutely perfect. It looks like a bunny, right? So some of you have got fat bunnies, some of you have got thin bunnies. Itsy bitsy fuzzy wuzzy bunnies. My bunny vomits acid.
What?
Yeah. Lovely. Now, the question is, there we are. Hooray! Bunny drawing. Yeah. Okay. The question is, who has drawn for me, as assigned, a super space city? Super space city. Yeah, that's fine. You want me to step back? No, it's okay. Who has drawn a super space city? Please come in. Don't interrupt. It's fine. Excellent. And no, it's okay. You can leave. Wait, come back. A super space city. May I see it, my son? No. No super space city. No one drew a super space city for me. Yes. Well, if you have a drawing you want me to put up on the internet, you can show it to me now. Anybody did homework? Yeah, you want to show it? Yeah.
Well, it's not only one, but I have this whole bunch right here.
Okay, just show me one.